everyone, I hope you had a great weekend. This week in class we will be finishing Lolita, and we'll also be starting Play As It Lays on Wednesday. So my final thoughts on the ending of Lolita. I guess I'm not sad that we're finishing it. Not as sad as I was with Mrs. Dalloway, that is. It's not because I didn't like Lolita, because I did. I thought it was an interesting and thought-provoking read, and I liked how it did allow me to get out of my comfort zone as a reader. And I also mentioned how it was a lot easier to read than Mrs. Dalloway was, but in the end, that didn't really affect my opinion on the book after all, because even though Mrs. Dalloway was harder for me to understand, I just liked the storyline better, and I think my unease with Lolita and just not being comfortable in general with the content kind of contributed to being glad that we're finishing it. But with that being said, I'm also really excited to start reading the next novel, just to see how it's different from Mrs. Dalloway and Lolita. So the quote I found was on page 308, and it starts with, "When I started 56 days ago to write Lolita, first in the psychopathic ward for observation, and then in this well-heated, albeit tombal seclusion, I thought I would use these notes in my toto at my trial to save not my head, of course, but my soul. In mid-composition, however, I realized that I could not parade living Lolita. I still may use parts of this memoir in hermetic sessions, but publication is to be deferred." So my question, based off of this specific passage, is, knowing Humber and his personality, and knowing his different character traits, do you think he is being genuine when he voices concern for Lolita's well-being? Or is there a sort of underlying motivation for his wanting his writings to be, deferred? He said that he would rather, he said that he would not be using his writings to save himself in trial, but rather he would be using them to save his soul. So in other words, he's using them to justify his actions, not really to the jury, but rather to himself, to kind of make himself feel better. However, the last part of the quote, Humber mentions that he realized that he cannot exploit Lolita, while she is still alive. So, because he's fearful of ruining her life. So that is why he wants publication to be deferred for his writing. So with saying that, what's Humbert's real motivation behind deferring the publication of his book? Is he being genuine, do you think, or is there maybe another reason, such as he's embarrassed of his actions, and he also wants to wait until he's no longer alive, for fear of the reaction from the public? So I'm looking forward to discussing this in class tomorrow, and I hope everyone has a great night, so I will see you guys tomorrow.